to the Banter Wars for the Banter Grand Final. The most epic moment in Banter Wars history is finally upon us. We've whittled down our competitors from 36 down to a measly 6. Let's remind ourselves of how they got here.
From Heat A, Twig. A surprise into the grand final, never been successful in Banter Wars before, and after a shocking gauntlet run it didn't look promising, but it made it through the trial rounds and eventually got into the Heat battles where it beat the Banter Portable a judge's decision and then the Penetrator, the Prime Minister's robot, with ease. Twig enters the grand final. From Heat B, the syringe injecting COVID wherever it goes. Mr. Doctor's robot was all damage, all destruction. Not the greatest in the trial rounds. Once it got to the Heat battles, it annihilated the competition. Starting with Plod's patrol car, damaging it past its expired warranty. Throwing out the arena, and then in the Heat final, it beat the Prime Minister's Dunno robot, pushing it into the CBZ and wiping out in the end. From Heat C, Null Salt with the new Flipper took the second route in the gauntlet, making a mockery of the entire competition. Just about got through the sumo after a close shave with the Fat Knacker. In the Heat battles, it made Plank look like, well, a plank of wood in that arena. And in the Heat final, Blimey McTrousers was no contest, and placed on the grill, there was no escape. Heat 4. Billy Bob Bill strides into the grand final with an epic, incredible flipping machine. It destroyed the trials, not a problem at all, and then getting into the Heat battles to beat Polly Reborn, flipping it out of the arena. And then repeated those heroics in the Heat final with the Sentencer. No judge's decision needed. The 5th Heat, Australian Bruce returned with the Brucealizer. Steady performance in the trials, scored a few goals for the Australia national football team. And then got into the Heat battles, where in both battles it looked to be on the losing side. But it came back eventually with those powerful forklift tusks, taking out the favourite Crikeo Pulverizer by turning it on its back. A brilliant performance, well worth its place in the grand final. And lastly, last heat, the reigning champion, an ordinary robot Blimey at 4. Impressive in the trials, and even more impressive in the Heat battles. Came up against the Wizard of Banter, whose anti-an ordinary robot mechanism didn't quite pay off. And then in the Heat final, against the Pine Peril, a mighty destructive machine made to look like nothing by the reigning champion, who hopes to retain the title today. How well will it do against these new opposition?
So there we have our 6 competitors. They've done well to get this far. They've faced some of the most difficult challenges ever put forward to a man-made machine. So it comes to this. No more gauntlet, no more trials. We're getting straight into battles, and we're heading back to the Banter Wars studio arena. No longer are we messing around in little garages on the street corners. We're going to the main stage now for the 6 competitors looking to challenge for the Banter Wars trophy. I've got it over there, and one of them's going to get it. So let's head in to round 1.
We're back to the Banter Wars studio arena for this almighty prospect we have ahead of us. It's the grand final, round 1, head-to-heads. First up is Twig versus the reigning champion, an ordinary robot, Blimey. A daunting task for Twig with those blades. The winner of Heat A did pretty well in its Heat battle against the Penetrator, but an ordinary robot Blimey is no small-time opponent. will do well to beat the reigning champion here, who quickly gets underneath Twig and thrusts it against the sides of the arena. May hope to get it out of the arena, or maybe into the pit where it should be opened, onto the flame grill. It's a dominating performance by the reigning champion. Won't let Twig go. Hasn't been able to get that tail in yet. Not a chance. The pit is now open. Very close to it. Very, very close. Twig is going to have to do something special here to come back into this battle. Remember, this is for a place in the semi-finals of Banter Wars series for the banter. Twig is stuck in the flipper of an ordinary robot who is controlling this fight. Not a problem. Now Twig is against the sidewall and an ordinary robot appears to have abandoned it. Senses victory and allows it to be counted out. It knows that it's won, it's tasted blood, and it's going into the semi-final. Poor old Twig. Not even given a chance, really. Did well to get to the grand final, but your day, good sir, is done. And the observer bot is putting you where he likes you best. Thinks you look good in there. In the pit. A strong performance again from an ordinary robot. It's wiped the opposition at every stage so far. Not even a bead of sweat on that machine. Twig, on the other hand, loses in this grand final first round. Into the pit. See you again soon. There is confirmation of the first robot through to the grand final, a semi-final. An ordinary robot 4 blazes through the competition. Next up is Null Suit and Beard X. Battle of the Flippers. Two of the mightiest flippers we've seen in Banter Wars so far. First up is Beard X. Both its battles end up with the opponents out the arena. And there is Null Suit. Managed to get the plank out of the ring. So 2-1 to Beard X in that regard. Who's going to win this one? Oh, good start from Beard X. Puts Null Suit on its back. Remember, both these robots can self-right, so it's not a game over at this point. Now pushes into the corner patrol zone. The observer watches carefully, but for the most part will want to keep out of this. We'll see how these robots get along. He's had clear instructions going to the grand final. Not to help out anybody who may be in need. Now the robots come face to face, trying to get under each other. Beard X with most points on the judges' board if it does go that far. Bit of a pushing match developing. Neither able to get a purchase on the other. Observerbot decides it's time for the pit to be opened. Will we see one of them drop into it? Already had Twig in there. I'm sure there's room for another. Come on, you two, do something. Getting close to the pit, though. Beard X looks to be in danger. That comes away now. Null Suit does not take that opportunity. Null Suit on its back. Once again, Beard X proving its superiority when it comes to the flipping match. Null Suit on its back now topples Beard X. The tables have turned, but we're close to the end of the battle. Can Null Suit win point from the judges? The judge, the single judge, they're stuck in the the corner control zone again. Come into each other, but we're running out of time. It's going to go to the judge. I think I know which way he's going to go. Let's look at the highlights. Beard X off to the better start. Put Null Suit on its back and into the corner patrol zone. Few good flips in there, kept control of that battle for the first minute or so. Then flipped Null Suit again after an interruption by the observer bot. But Null Suit had a bit of a fight back towards the end. Unfortunately for Null Suit, that last minute fight back was not enough. The judge wasn't impressed and Beard X progresses. Which means we have our second semi-finalist, Beard X, taking out Null Suit. The battle of the flippers. Next up is the Brutalizer and the Syringe. There's There's a lot of pride at stake in this one. It's Mr. Doctor versus Australian Bruce's Brucelizer, and we all know how the COVID thing is going in Australia. Not going well for the Australians, do feel pity for them. Authoritarianism, everyone. It's not good. But who will be the authoritarian in this battle? The syringe will hope to do the most damage. Australian Bruce will hope to flip the syringe because it cannot self-right, but it's not getting underneath, nor is it attacking from the side. It's getting punishment from that COVID injection, just like the country itself. Oh, comes one of the lifters now. That could be it. That could be all it takes. Look at the damage caused to that Australian machine. The syringe wins this one. No problem at all. In pieces, the Brucelizer, and into the pit. We have our third semi-finalist. Easy as that. We always knew that Australian weakness was the pandemic for a number of reasons. New weakness, the robot version.
We've got to move on to our Banter Wars semi-final. But hold on a minute. Semi-final means 4 robots. We've only had 3 go through so far. You may be wondering where the other competitor comes from. I'm here to tell you. Our 3 losers from the first round are going back into the arena, and one of them will get back into the grand final by beating the other 2. Twig, Brucelizer and Null Suit have that one chance at redemption right now. Which one is going to re-enter the competition?
You thought they were out? How silly are you? We've got the losers playoff. Null Suit, the Brucelizer and Twig have that one chance now at redemption to bring themselves back into the running to be crowned Banter Wars champion. There's Null Suit beaten by Beard X in what was a close fight. Went to a judge's decision. Possibly the best chance here. And there's the Brucelizer repaired after it's facing with syringe. And Twig embarrassed by the reigning champion. One of them will be back in the competition. Who will it be? Off we go. Let the banter commence. They all come towards Null Suit with that mighty flipper that could prove decisive here, but it's sandwiched between the two, the blades of Twig and the forklift of the Brucelizer on the flame pit and on its back. That's not good for Null Suit. Stuck between a hard place and a Twig. Now pushed against the arena sidewall. They're ganging up on the flipper and it's looking damaged, dented, and that teamwork is paying off. Twig is causing the most of the damage with that blade on the front, cutting into Null Suit and annihilates it. Twig demolishes the Null Suit and now looks to bring it to the Brucelizer, pushing it into the CPZ. The observer that watches on doesn't want to get too involved at this stage. Pushes Null Suit in the pit, you're gone. It's a surprise. So one of these two will be joining the other 3 into the semi-final of Banter Wars for the banter. Who will it be? Twig seemed to be on top, especially when it came to Null Suit, but it's looking damaged and I think it's over. Twig is dead. That forklift again, like we saw with the Bone Tickler in the Heap semi-final, Australian Bruce's Brutalizer is surprisingly damaging with those forklifts at the front. And it's beaten Twig. It's through. Managed to get that early flip on Null Suit, which put it into the grasp of Twig, who finished off the job. And then it was a bit of a tussle between the blue and green machines until Twig died. Just breaking from the A Heap of Land embassy, Null's anchor has lost in the grand final playoffs, which means he is no longer in the competition. Here with more is Null's anchor. I'm very disappointed. More on that at 11. Damn it, it's an interview, isn't it?
Done it all. You've literally done it all. I don't need to do anything else.
Oh.
Please leave.
Breaking news, Null's anchor is leaving.
News wanker.
Breaking news, your leg.
Ow. So, Twig, how do you feel about losing in the playoff final?
Twig is disappointed that
Okay,
he...
on to the next round.
We're down to 4. 4 robots who have beaten all the odds to make it through to the Banter Wars Series 4 semi-finals. This is where it starts to get really messy. So watch carefully. You don't want to miss a second of this. Let's go to the semi-finals.
I'm getting really tense over here, ladies and gentlemen. The semi-finals are upon us. 4 robots left in the competition. The best of the best, the brutalist of the brutal. First up, an ordinary robot 4 against the brutalizer. An ordinary robot will be understandably the favourite here. It's soared through every round so far. Has it met its match in the brutalizer, having made it through the playoff with those surprisingly deadly forklifts and the Foster's cans? In they come for the first semi-final, a place in the grand final. It's a great start from an ordinary robot, tipping the brutalizer onto its back with that mighty flipper. It's flipper against fork, and flipper is well on top at the start of this battle, trying to get underneath those Foster's cans at the side. Brutalizer escapes momentarily, but back over again onto the arena. Flipper is going everywhere in this ring. I don't think those Foster's cans are going to help it too much. It's back onto the flipper, onto its back. An ordinary robot throwing it around like a rag doll out there. Stuck in the corner once more. It brings itself back down. It is still alive. Can an ordinary robot pit it or throw it out of the arena? You don't want it to go to a judge's decision. Flipped again, close to the edge of the ring. Will it go out of the arena? No, it's back into the middle. Perhaps towards the pit release mechanism. Now into the other corner. Observerbot releases the pit, and something's happened in the corner there. They've both taken a tumble. And hold on. An ordinary robot is stuck. It's stuck on the wall. Australian Bruce commits suicide on the arena flipper, but Observerbot has to take a look at this. An ordinary robot is being counted out. Australian Bruce escapes, but there's no sign of life from an ordinary robot. Now this is a shock. An Observerbot is not happy about it, but that's it. What a comeback. An ordinary robot beaches itself after dominating early proceedings in the game. Australian Bruce didn't think he had a chance. He was in the pit, drowning his sorrows in Foster's and kangaroo dung, and then this happened. An ordinary robot kills itself, sticks itself against the sidewall, and Australian Bruce lives on.
Did you lose? Did you lose your rig competition? I think you might have lost your rig competition.
Who wins overall, though? I mean, it's not about winning. It's
Not you.
It's about taking part that counts.
I shall be taking that. Thank you. And this.
My medal. My shitty plastic medal.
Anything for the rest of the viewers? Who will now be very interested in the competition now that it isn't rigged.
Yeah, message for the viewers. I won. Anybody who says otherwise gets thrown in the pit of unhappiness.
Sounds like a great place to be.
Well, for you it is.
Yes, because that's
I'll be back in my mansion with my butlers, servants, and my harem, while you all go into the pit of unhappiness and spend your time being, well, unhappy. That's what the pit of unhappiness does. It makes you unhappy, and you're in a pit.
Still better than you winning.
Whoever wins this competition, I will have murdered. Do you realise that?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me.
Well, fuck you all. I'll win next year. But I'm letting you that someone else had this one this year because I'm such a nice, humble person. Fuck this shit. I don't know if I have Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The Prime Minister is not happy and we'll all suffer for it. Let's just quietly get on with the next semi-final, shall we? No, screw that. Let's do it loudly. The Syringe versus Beard X to join the Brutalizer in the grand final. The Syringe proving itself to be incredibly deadly with that COVID injection. It's already beaten the current grand finalist, Brutalizer. If it makes it through, we'll face it again. It's against Beard X here. Off we go for that, well, to be in the grand final. Beard X and the Syringe, and that's not a good start from Beard X. He wants to get those wheels away from the COVID injection. Are hillbillies resistant to COVID? They might tell you that they are. I don't think they are, you know. And the Syringe is making a mockery of the flipping menace. It's over already. Beard X dead. He's going to go crying back to Shelley. The Syringe is victorious. And Billy Bob Bill. Oh, so sad. Well, not really. Got off to a bad start, couldn't get underneath. Got side attacked by the Syringe, and then that COVID injection is so unbelievably lethal. That is probably the most destructive weapon we've had in Banter Wars. Biological weaponry.
I think this is Billy Bob Bill.
It's Billy Bob Bill, alright. You don't go forgetting that.
Well, it's kind of difficult. You all kind of look very, very similar.
Are you saying we's inbred? Because we may be. But you saying that we's inbred, I find that offensive. And in this modern days of political correctness, I find that you should be going to jail. Right? Okay. So now that we got that sorted, I'm going to get my gun and show these damn commies what it's like to be a true hillbilly like myself. My robot should have won, right? It should have won. But,
Just hang on. Right, I'll now give you the microphone so you can actually say something about the battle that you unfortunately lost.
the battle, well, those damn commies coming in from the China. And they make my beard fall off. I get so angry. So they come over here so I get my gun, and when they take to the streets, then they don't want to come my way, because me and Shelley, we close, and I protect her with my life, sir. So until the day Donald J. Trump comes back into the office, and I, Billy Bob Bill, be ready with my gun for these damn commies coming over and taking their stuff.
Okay, thanks very much.
We have our two grand finalists. Hurrah! A few surprises have come along the way. Most notably, the champion is now out of the competition. But they will now fight for the third place playoff. An ordinary robot and Beard X will now fight each other to get that bronze medal to solidify their place in the Banter Wars record books. This is it. Third place playoff. Let's go.
This is all official, really, formal stuff before we enter the main competition. Third place playoff for that bronze medal. An ordinary robot 4 against Beard X. Maybe the Prime Minister can get some silverware in some for another, well, bronzeware. There is Beard X, fresh after its demolishing by the Syringe. That was a shocking result. But even more shocking result was an ordinary robot losing to the Brutalizer. Well, they're both here now, fighting for third place. It's all about pride, redemption, dignity. Two flippers, front hinge, rear hinge, and Beard X is immediately under pressure. Stuck in exactly the same place that an ordinary robot Blimey was in its defeat. And an ordinary robot Blimey is not letting it go. It's stuck. Completely stuck. An ordinary robot Blimey won't move out of the way. The Observerbot can't save it. It's over. It's all over. Well, that was quick. We got it out of the way. The Prime Minister does take a bronze medal. Not that he'll be happy with that. He will go on a murder spree. will do something genocidal, but there it is.
It's all come down to this. We're finally at the last round. The Banter Wars Series 4 Ultimate Grand Final. Two competitors, the Syringe and the Brucelizer, have surprised us all, caused shocks along the way, and proven their worth as true, historical Banter Wars competitors. This is their final challenge. Which one of these two will prevail and be the new Banter Wars champion? Start placing your bets and hide well behind your sofa. In fact, 10 sofas. Hide behind all of them. The arena is going to be the ultimate destruction. Let's do it. Let's find our new champion.
I hope you're ready for this. It's the final. The Syringe and the Brucelizer both have provided shocks along the way. Could we see another one? The Syringe incredibly damaging, the Brucelizer just as much so.
So, you're in the grand final. You're against Australian Bruce with this brutalizer. How do you feel about that?
Not a problem. His robot is dreadful. I've seen the x-rays. Aged, decrepit, not very healthy. So my robot, being at the top of its health, the peak of its fitness, will absolutely annihilate this particular opponent.
Okay, there you have it.
Not a problem.
Joined again by Australian Bruce going into the grand final. How do you feel?
Oh mate, it's great. Great feeling. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, that's all we need to know about that.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, crikey, mate. Right, fine. We'll just go straight into it then, shall we? Australian Bruce ain't that important. His robot's not going to win.
You're Australian. Nobody cares.
If you want to put it that way, mate. Let's move on.
So here we go. Can Australia finally beat COVID? Can it beat the pandemic? Can it beat the lockdowns? This is what it's all about. It's already lost to COVID. Can it win round 2 in the ultimate competition? Change that music. Here we go. It was over pretty quickly last time these two met. Will it go the same way again? It looks to be going that way because Australian Bruce can't figure out to do a side attack. And in come those COVID injections, and there goes the lifter. That is the main weapon from the Brucelizer, and it looks to be almost as good as done already. In comes more injections, filling the Brucelizer with COVID. 1 bit, 2 bit, 3 bit, doesn't even need that spinning blade at the back, and it's looking incredibly damaged. The Brucelizer turns away now. What is this? The Syringe is stuck on part of the broken lifter, being counted out. It's over. The Brucelizer is the victor, the ultimate Banter Wars champion. It's beaten COVID. Finally. What a shock this is. Off came the lifter. You thought it was all doom and gloom, but the Syringe got stuck. It's too low to the ground, and that means that the Brucelizer is the victor. Congratulations.
So, you lost to the brutalizer. Any comments?
Doping. That's how he did it. Doping. Just like that guy at the Olympics. And the Russians. Doping. Doping. That's how he won. No further comment. Doping!
Okay, there you have it. Doping. I'm now joined by the winner of the tournament, Australian Bruce. Somehow managed to win.
Oh, mate, can't believe it, mate. Can't believe it. Need to grab my Fosters, need to grab my Kangaroo. Oh, where's my winner's medal, mate?
I have your winner's medal here.
Oh, mate.
Congratulations.
Bruce, mate. Crikey. Oh, that's great. I feel great, mate.
And your Banter Wars trophy.
I didn't... Bruce, I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. I mean, it's better than any trophy we've had in Australia. The only trophies we ever have in Australia, usually, well, we don't have any in Australia because we never win anything. So this is first ever trophy for Australia. Bruce and Brucettes everywhere. Grab your Fosters, grab your Kangaroo. Australia's coming home. Crikey, Bruce.
That concludes Banter Wars for this season. See you next time.
Thanks, mate. And Bruce.
So there we have it. Banter Wars Series 4 The Banter comes to an end. We have our new champion in the Brucealizer, which may come as a shock to many people out there, but it was well fought, well earned, a little bit of luck along the way. But we have our new champion. They will return next time to see if they can defend it. We hope you join us then, and we hope you've enjoyed the series as a whole. Remember to like, subscribe, comment and share this video if you enjoyed Banter Wars, and we'll see you next time. Ta-ra.